Rain. Be pretty tough if we never had any rain. I know some areas get a lot less rain than we do here in Wisconsin. We get a fair amount, and sometimes we end up in a little bit of a drought. Like this fall, we've had hardly any rain, but sometimes we get a little too much rain. And when you've got a basement or you've got a building like this one, where the elevation behind the building is higher than the building itself, a good heavy rain can cause a lot of problems, and that's what happened to me. I've lived here 30 years, and 10 years ago, I had the floor concreted in after I put a 20-foot addition on the end for a workshop. Prior to that, this had been just a livestock building with a gravel floor that I dug several loads of goat and horse manure out of before I could use it. And now it's very usable. I don't have the workshop done yet, but my nemesis has always been water coming in the backside after a heavy rain or a heavy snow melt. Well, we're going to take care of that now. I just had some eaves trough put in, a gutter put in the full length of the backside of this shed with a leaf guard on it because a lot of trees along this fence line behind the shed. I have several Amish neighbors who are in the construction business, and down the road is one of my neighbors who does eaves troughs, downspouts, and I had them pull up one day with their tractors and cut back the edge of the roof to install a heavy-duty gutter and leaf guard for me. They have quite an operation. They form it on the spot with their machine, get it all prepped for installation, and get right at putting it in place. And no time at all, they had it up with a really nice leaf guard and some snow stop that I put in to prevent the snow from sliding down in torrents behind the shed in the wintertime. So far, this has worked out really well. Snow stop on the front of the shed too, as long as they were here doing it. And now I'm going to tie this into a drain system that I installed here probably about 8 or 9 years ago after I had the addition put on. I was hoping that that drain system with the perforated tile and the gravel would take away a lot of the snow melt water and rain, and it did take away some of it, but was never good enough when I got hit with a really hard rain. So now I'm going to tie this downspout into some corrugated line that goes down to the woods from here. Now when I put this line in 10 years ago, I rented myself an excavator and worked all the way along here and dug a big trench with the excavator. This time I had to dig this out by hand to reveal this little section of tight pipe. And today we're going to tie a Y fixture into that pipe that a line coming from here is going to connect to and take all this rainwater down into the woods where it won't bother the shed anymore. And then I can finish working on the workshop and I will be close to having the perfect shed. So I got everything dug out here, and I dug a line where I can run the hose from this downspout adapter that I have screwed onto the downspout now to the inlet on this 45. And I've marked where I need to cut, and I cut the lines for installing this 45. Then I got some warm soapy water and washed these off really well because I have to tape them with this drain tile tape to make sure their joints are sealed on this so we don't get water pushing out around the edges when it's installed. So right now I'm going to snap this into place, but I'm not going to tape it right away because I need to see where that line is going to hit exactly so I don't get too much of a kink in the line. So let's pop this on here. Kind of hard to get back off, but I can rotate it. And it's pretty easy to put on. And I've got just enough clearance there that I can sneak some tape around these joints once I get everything measured and figured out. And I may have to trim a little bit here on the side to make that hose come out right. We will see in a minute. Well, finally, after no small amount of struggle, adjusting, having to move a little further that way and cut off some of this to put an extension piece in the middle and take a couple shots at this, we finally have the hose cut and in place and the joints taped and ready to start filling this hole in. There's still a little perforated section here. Once I get the dirt underneath, I'm going to put some fabric over the top, put more gravel back on the top, and then put the rest of the dirt on top, and then fill the rest of the hole. And that's all going to be pretty easy. So we have new gutter and downspout tied in to the drain line, headed down into the woods. I should not have any more water pouring into the backside of the shed. If you enjoyed this brief video, well then please click like and consider subscribing as I do more of these types of projects, and as I do more work on finally getting the workshop put together in this shed, some heat in there, and we start working on some vehicles. So until next time, enjoy your projects and take care.